Welcome back to my animal education series. Today I'm here with Sunny at the Nashville Zoo. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good. And who do we have here behind us?
We have two of our spider monkeys. We have our one male, Sandy, he's on the right, and then we have one of our females, Molly. We have 4 total here. Sandy is our only male, and we have 3 females.
Oh, here comes another one. Oh, no, there they go. Just come hide from the camera. And where can you find these spider monkeys in the wild?
So these guys live in the rainforest in Central and South America. These guys specifically are Mexican spider monkeys. So they're going to live closer in the Central American rainforest, like Mexico and the southern parts of Brazil.
And what kind of environments are they found in?
These guys live up in top of the rainforest, so high in the canopy, in the tropical rainforest in South America and Central America.
And what adaptations do they have for that kind of lifestyle up in the trees?
So these guys specifically have what's called a prehensile tail, which is a little unique from most primates. Most primates that have a tail just use it for balance. These guys can actually use their tail as an extra limb to grab onto things like branches and vines and things like that to kind of help them climb through the trees.
And one thing I've noticed right off the bat is enrichment that's in the enclosure. Mm-hmm. You said this is a training room, so this itself is enrichment. And then we have ropes and all sorts of vines and everything out in the main enclosure, which is kind of fogged up right now.
Yeah.
But what other enrichment do you guys provide for these monkeys?
So these guys, since they're so high intelligent, we like to provide a lot of kind of mental stimulating enrichment, a lot of foraging, things they kind of have to work for their food. These guys also get things like bells and mirrors to kind of interact with. But mostly we want to kind of encourage those natural behaviors of foraging and kind of working for their food.
So, like with some of like the plants and like rocks down there, do you put like food or hide like treats and stuff in those?
Yeah, so we try to hide it as best on exhibit as we can. Our policy here is we don't do any unnatural enrichment on exhibit, so we're a little limited on exhibit wise. But we have to do some feeders in these fake trees to kind of help us hide food and kind of make them search for it.
And what do these monkeys eat in the wild?
These guys are what's called frutivores. They're primarily going to eat fruit. They will occasionally eat some leaves, flowers, some small insects, things like that. But primarily they're fruit eaters. So they're going to be mainly contained of fruit.
And is that a similar story here in captivity as well?
It's a little bit different. Wild grown fruit is a lot different than commercially grown fruit. So they do get some fruit. Hi. That's one of their excited vocalizations. They do get some fruit like bananas, grapes, berries, things like that. But since it's so high in sugar, it's a little bit reduced in the amount they would normally eat. They do get some greens, and then mainly what they get in addition is what we call primate chow. It's a specialized diet just made for them. So they make sure they get all their vitamins, nutrients, minerals, things they might be missing that we're not able to provide.
So you have to do some science, but you're probably like the veterinary and the dietary team.
Yes, our veterinary team, we have a nutritionist that comes out that does all our diets and kind of formulates their diet to make sure they need everything they have.
Like as you said, like commercially grown fruit has like a lot of like sugars in it, so it's a lot different for them and bad if they have the same amount of fruit.
Yes. So the sugar is really grown for our liking and our tasting, but wild grown fruit is much more compatible to our vegetables like sweet potatoes and carrots. So they do get some of that, but they're much more wild grown fruit. It's much less in sugar than it is our commercially grown stuff.
And what kind of predators would want to go after a spider monkey?
These guys don't have a lot of natural predators since they live so high up in the trees, but they do bigger cats like jaguars, ocelots, and when they're younger, large snakes, large birds, things of that nature.
So how does the coloration help them camouflage, if at all?
These guys don't really have much camouflage. You can imagine the rainforest is really lush and green, these guys being darker. But it does help when you're looking up. It is kind of a darker color, so that dark coloration does help from predators down low.
And what is one of your favorite things about these spider monkeys?
These guys, I really like the way they use their tail. It's really unique. It allows them to climb and reach things that they're not able to. Oftentimes inside and on exhibit, they'll reach things with their tail, which is kind of interesting and fun.
And are these spider monkeys endangered or?
Yes, these guys are all spider monkeys actually are critically endangered, which is the last step before extinction. The main reason for that is these guys are popular in the pet trade. Locals use these guys for bushmeat or they'll hunt for protein, but the biggest thing is loss of habitat.
And do you know of any certain projects that are going on down there to help these spider monkeys?
The biggest thing is palm oil. So a lot of companies are using palm oil in everything we have. It's from soaps and shampoos to the food we eat. So it's a very important product, but a lot of companies use it, obtain it in an unsustainable way. So the biggest thing you could do is follow the roundtable of sustainable palm oil, and they'll allow you to, when you're grocery shopping and things like that, find the companies that are obtaining their palm oil in a sustainable way and kind of saving the rainforest the best they can.
And are they also part of an SSP program?
Yes. So this is a hopeful breeding group. Sandy, our male, is younger, so he is just now becoming of a breeding age. So we're hoping at some point that he'll breed with one of our females, and we'll have a breeding group.
Well, thank you so much for telling us about these spider monkeys.
You're welcome.
They're very awesome species that have all left us at the beginning.
They're going inside.
Because you might be able to notice all the rain, it's not really the best habitat or weather for them.
No, it's not ideal. The rain they're used to in the wild, but here they get sheltered and they're not used to
They have the option of going inside and avoiding it all.
They do.
Well, again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And if you guys enjoyed this episode, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up down below, subscribe to my channel, and also check out my Instagram @Culture. As always, I'll see you next week.